Say hi. Welcome back. She doesn't feel well today. She is joining us today, as is some of my daughters. So we are going to talk about this exciting new thing that we're going to do. I gave the girls a little plan, and I'm hoping that this will be able to help you out. So what we're going to do is we are going to be making menus in a couple different ways. So this first video, we're going to discuss how to make a menu and then plan out the menu, and I asked the girls to do that. So I gave them specific stipulations on how they were going to do that, and then asked them to go ahead and do that. So I want to train my daughters to be good stewards of the home. And part of being good stewards of the home is being able to have a budget and keep within your budget that's in your own family. And these three girls that are with me, 1, 2, 3, are already over 18 or over. And so they really need to be thinking on being able to provide well for the ways of their house. So everyone's not going to start with 14 people, as mentioned by some of my daughters. But this is definitely a good way. So there's two different ways I feel to plan within a budget. The first way is to make a menu plan, and then they're very confusing. To make a menu plan and then to buy for your menu plan. The second is to keep a very well-stocked pantry, make your meals from the pantry, and then only buy whatever is necessary, and then continue to stock your pantry with the funds that you have each time. I prefer the second way, but it doesn't mean that the first way is wrong or bad or anything like that. So today we're going through the first way. And maybe she could have some gummy bears. She's gonna go grab her a little snack. So what I did was I gave them a budget. So for any person, $100 a month is like a good baseline to start your budget. So if you have $100 a month, that's $25 per week roughly. So they were given $25 per week per person in our household. And they were able to have that budget as their budget for the week to provide for the meals for our household. So the week that they are doing their week, they will have a full 7 days that they will be required to do all the kitchen care. That will be breakfast, snacks, lunch, another snack, and then supper. They will do all of those things out of their budget for that week. They will also be cooking and cleaning, and they will have one dishes helper that will dry the dishes of their choosing. So that's what they will be doing for the week. They will forgo other like room chores the week that they have that. And so they're planning out everything. So what they will do is they will get the budget and they will go grocery shopping for that week, and then they will be doing the meals for that week. So what was the budget?
$325.
So it's $325 for the 14 of us in this household. So they were given $325 to spend at the grocery store to have meals and snacks for the week. So they all had different ideas. It was challenging, I think, for most of you. Was it challenging? What was the most challenging part?
For me, it was thinking of the meals.
Thinking of the different meals. What about for you?
Maybe buying all the ingredients that we already had.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people will be starting from scratch. And so that's like with us, we stock up on food ahead of time. And then, but for like this, you had us buy things that we already have as well.
Yeah.
So I think that was hard.
Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Finding organic meats and foods was one of the harder parts because
That should be a good point. Yeah.
where we are and stuff, there isn't a lot of like organic variety around here, so being able to find organic meats and vegetables and fruits and whatever.
Yes, that is a very good point. So locally, we actually cannot get a lot of the organic meats. So what I did was I made a list for the things that they couldn't get, and they can purchase those from me, being the grocery store. So the things that they could not find, I looked up prices that are comparable in a bigger city, kind of like 4 hours away from us, basically, to see the prices. I gave them prices for pork because I could not find anything anywhere. I gave them prices for pork, $4 a pound, because that's how much it is locally to buy. If you were to buy like a whole hog, so I gave them that price for pork. So that would have been their cheapest meat. How much was your chicken?
It was $17.50 for a whole chicken.
Okay, so $17.50 for a whole chicken.
And that's my time.
We're canning, so she's gonna go switch that
So
out.
we couldn't find organic chicken, right?
No, I think it was $5.30 something.
Yeah, it was something.
Per pound? Okay.
I think
Because
it was for
I
$5.30
was
per
thinking
pound.
we could only find the like non-antibiotic, non-hormone, whatever chicken.
Yeah.
I didn't know if we found organic ones or not, but it sounds like
I think that what we did was, I think for chicken, maybe we used the Bangor prices.
The chicken breasts were $5.58. Wings were $3.68, and whole was $17.99.
Okay. So those are the prices for the chicken, but that's not something that can get locally there. That's not something that they'll purchase right here at our local stores because they don't carry. The only organic meat that you can get locally is ground hamburger, if they have that available, and that is $6.99 a pound.
$6.28.
Okay, $6.28 a pound. So that's the only thing that we can get locally organic. That bunny is like sitting in the middle of the driveway. We had this bunny get out like months ago, and now it like likes to poke its head out, but it's hiding in. We have like round bales, and it's like hiding in the round bales, but it keeps like poking out, but nobody can actually get it, which is really weird because we usually can get whatever. Okay, so do you want to read off some things that you are planning to do for meals?
I'm planning to do 2 whole chickens with mashed potatoes and fried kale. And after I do that meal, I'll boil down the chickens to make a chicken pot pie. And then I'll do a pork roast with carrots and potatoes in a roaster and canned peas. And then I'll use that extra pork that I'll have from that meal to make pork carnitas. And I'll also, because we have a lot of pumpkin, I'm going to do some squash soup.
Oh, I told them they could have free pumpkin and free butternut squash because we have so many of them. And that is something that we can get usually like free. I mean, lots of people have extra pumpkins or whatever. And that sometimes people just gift us things, and that would be something that maybe somebody would gift us. So.
And then I looked up pumpkin chili. So I'm going to do that one of the days.
New recipe.
Yeah. And I'm not quite sure what it's called, but I call it pepperoni noodles. It's has sauce and pepperoni, onions and stuff. I don't know, what do you call that?
So we use gluten-free noodles, and then we chop up pepperoni and onions, and we use a marinara type sauce, basically from our tomatoes and whatever. So basically, what we did is she'll use our pasta sauce that we have in the basement, but she would be charged the price of like an organic pasta sauce. So all of these I did not mention. These are mostly organic or as organic as possible because right now we are on a special diet and our foods, we're trying to really heal our immune systems. And so our diet is basically a paleo-ish diet. I would say paleo, but we're allowed to have rice and beans as like paleo usually doesn't. So the things that is not paleo is white potatoes, rice, and beans, and sugar. We do have some sugar, but it's only like for desserts or whatever. Yeah. So what I was saying is the things that we can't really get organic or that we already have, basically they're going to purchase from Store Mom, and then the rest of the stuff they're going to get at the grocery store. But there are the prices that they were to use the prices that were available to us.
For breakfast, I have eggs and potatoes and oatmeal. Mainly oatmeal because
Oatmeal's cheap.
Oatmeal's cheap, and if you add different things to it, it tastes good. And then smoothies.
Alrighty. Those sound yummy, yummy. So I also noticed on hers that she has apples and peanut butter and bananas for snacks. All right, she was the only one who came in under budget first time. I don't know how she did that. I always go over budget and then come back, but she came under budget. She did good. So,
That is just the recipes for the new for the pumpkin chickens.
okay. So then she wrote out the recipe for pumpkin chili, so she won't have to look that up again or try to look up a different one again. So she just wrote it out like this. And then she has her grocery shopping list on the back like that. And then, so Kaylee, what are some meals that you came up with? You don't have to list like everything, but what are some meals?
I did like tacos because usually when we do that, then there's enough for 2 meals. So I did that for like a lunch and a supper. I have pork chops, mashed potatoes with vegetables, and for supper, I'll kind of like take the leftovers of that and make it into like a pork fried rice.
Stop for 1 minute. That is a great way to save money. To have one meal, cook it so you have a little bit of leftovers, and then recreate with your little bit of leftovers into another meal.
And then I have like rice and beans, pork carnitas. I also have pumpkin soup, and then like a goulash. Most of my breakfasts, I also did oatmeal because that's the cheapest breakfast we could find. But I also have a day with eggs and muffins, and then smoothie and muffins on another day because I already pre-bought those ingredients for like with other meals as well.
So Kaylee did a lot of ingredients to be able to bake. So she'd be able to make like muffins or anything like that. So she probably would have in her meal plan, she probably would have more, like if she was doing 2 weeks in a row, she'd have a lot of things to carry over to the next week, which is great because when you're trying to do this, that's what you're trying to do is get things to carry over to the next week. But if she was starting fresh, this would be a good starting point. But she does have the ingredients to make some baked goods like the muffins. She has the gluten-free flour and all those types of things. So what are some ideas that you came up with, Savannah, that you really liked?
Probably for most of my breakfast too, I did oatmeal because that's cheap. And then for 2 of my breakfasts, I did potatoes and kale and onion, and I'll just saute that in a pot, and the kids can put ketchup or mustard or whatever they want on that and eat it like that. And then for another one of my breakfasts, I had some quinoa left over from another meal that I'm doing, and I'm just gonna do like quinoa with coconut oil and maple syrup or whatever
It's so yummy.
for that. And then goulash. I was thinking of doing spaghetti and meatballs, but you can use a lot less meat if you're making goulash, as Mom pointed out to me. So I'm gonna make a big casserole pan of goulash and do salad with that, and then probably with supper I'll add some celery and carrot sticks and stuff with that.
So, what was one of your biggest challenges with? So, with Kaylee, she kind of struggled on knowing how much food would feed her or feed everyone. I don't like to lay on the table. You come in a little bit. There we go. How much food would feed everyone? She kind of struggled with, okay, is this like one meal's worth or 2 meals worth? Cheyenne, what was your biggest struggle, do you think?
Thinking of the meals.
She wanted to try to think of like some creative meals that weren't going to be like
The same
the same thing. So that took a little bit of time and effort, was finding economical meals that were different. And I think Savannah, protein. Yeah, she was really struggling with I think we all would have had some bowel issues if we followed the first original plan, just because there was so much beans in it, and all the things that she was making were really good and really economical, but it would just be an issue if we ate beans in the proportions that were. I mean, you can have rice and beans, and then if you have split pea soup the next day, you probably don't want to like do like all. You need to like break it up a little bit. So that is actually a big consideration. I know when my husband and I were first together, when we first moved into this house, things were really tight, and all of a sudden we needed to eat a lot of beans and rice, and it took our stomachs a little bit adjusting to. One help is to put apple cider vinegar in while you're cooking your rice and beans. That helps level out the acidity in your stomach. But if you gradually work your way into things, then you're not going to have the issues that we eat beans fairly frequently, not so much now. As much as we used to, just because of our diet changing and that type of stuff. Because we were all paleo for a couple months, probably 4 months, 5 months, something like that. We were completely paleo, and then recently we've added back the rice and beans, which actually helps me out 110%. I could easily, not easily, but it would be a lot easier for me to stay on a full time, including the rice and beans, because it has enough of the starch in there and quick things that you can do for rice and beans. I was struggling a little bit with the other, although if you're trying to lose weight doesn't come off as fast if you're eating rice and beans compared to the paleo. So everyone had their struggles in doing this challenge, and it made me as a mother realize how I just tend to automatically do things and don't explain out what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And that's really something that I need to work on, is the why I'm doing things and why I grocery shop the way that I do. I know a lot of women, they do their menu plans and they do like we're doing here, but I definitely can see how much more money it would cost doing things out this way and how it would save to do the other way. So it'd be interesting in this challenge to do these as far as how much money difference it would be. So I want to hear below if you'd be interested in hearing more about this plan and if it's something where you would want to see actual grocery shopping, actual receipts, or if it's something that you would want to see meals and lists prepped out, or what you would like to see as far as this challenge go. What's some of the things that challenges you in the kitchen? I know the inflation is getting really high, and trying to just make a meals plan is really difficult at sometimes. I'm going to just show you some things. So this one's Kaylee's.
Tiny handwriting.
She has really neat, pretty handwriting. She does not get that from me. I am very sloppy when I write, and I'm surprised people can even see it. And then that's like her shopping list. And then Savannah's working on this afternoon redoing hers into like actual menu plan style that she feels comfortable with, because she made some different changes or whatever from the meat and such, and hasn't had the opportunity. She was out in the woods yesterday with me and stuff. So yeah, let us know what you think, and let us know what challenges you. So the goal or the challenge is $25 per week per person. So my family of 14 is definitely going to look different than a family of say 4, which is going to be, $200 for the week, right? No, $100 for the week. $100 for the week for a family of 4. So it's going to look a whole lot different. But what are some tips and strategies that you use? And are you going to want to try to do this thrifty challenge? I think the thrifty budget plan from the USDA said that for a family of 4, it'd be $135. I think it was $135 per week for a family of 4. So maybe you want to go with that number. I'm not quite sure what you'd want to do, but the goal for our family is usually $100 a month per person per month. And that's how we plan things out. And then if I can have extra money for stocking up or whatever, I try to include that in that. But we'll go over that through a different stocking up type video. All right. Hope to see you guys soon. Bye. Okay, real quick. We just decided what we're going to do is we usually shop on Thursday. So they'll be going from Friday to Friday. So they'll shop on Thursday, and then their meals will go from Friday until the next Friday. And they're not doing Sunday lunch area time. I'm going to work on that because that's church time. And so I'll do those. So what we're going to do is whoever is doing it that week, we will come back with a grocery haul. I will film that on Thursday, and then they will go over the meals that they're going to create with that grocery haul. And then that will include, they'll grab stuff from me and have it sitting at the table, so you'll know what all we have. And then they'll go over the meals that they're going to do for the week, and then their total grocery cost. I hope that sounds good.